Everybody, Michael here from Get Fit Over 40, and it's been a little bit of time since I made a video. I've actually had people asking me if I'm okay. The last video I made was me getting Rona, talking about how I got Rona, coronavirus, and I think some people thought, well, is he okay? Did something happen to him? Is he in the hospital or what's going on? So thanks for your concerns. I am totally fine. I got pretty much over that. I think even when I made that video, I was pretty much over it. Maybe I might have sounded like I wasn't, but I was over the worst of it by the time I made that video. So doing fine. I had a bit of a cough after the video. I always have coughs after I get a cold or flu. They just last a long time. I always get like a lung irritation, and I even went to my doctor and got like a puffer to help just alleviate the, I guess it was like irritation in my lungs. So I even still cough occasionally now. It's just something that always happens to me when I get a cold or cough. But I did want to make this update video just to let everybody know I'm still alive, and not to make excuses, just a little bit of some of the reasons why I've kind of been taking a little bit of time off lately. And, sometimes you just got to take a little bit of time off. I've really taken a lot of time off from Instagram. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram. I'm just not even really doing much there. I'm not even posting pictures of food or anything. So yeah, I need to get back on track. I've just been a bit of a funk, I guess. There's been a lot of things hitting me all at once, it seems. Like just everything's hitting me all at once. I wouldn't say I'm depressed, but I've been down. I've been a little bit down. I just haven't been motivated, and just so much is going on. And I'll kind of go through some of the stuff that's been putting me in a little bit of a slump here. So yeah, the Rona didn't help, right? That was kind of one of the things. Definitely, set me back about a week in terms of training. It wasn't that I couldn't train. I just didn't feel like training. My throat was so sore. At the time, my throat was really sore. I didn't have as much energy, obviously. When you're sick, you're not going to have as much energy. I wouldn't say I couldn't do stuff, but I just didn't feel like working out. So I took a week off. Since then, I've been trying to work out at least 4 days a week, even though I just haven't been motivated. I just haven't felt like it. I've been still trying to go in at least for 45 to 50 minutes, 4 times a week. And I've been doing that for the most part pretty religiously. So I'm trying to kind of maintain, although maintenance, if you've watched some of my videos, if you've been maintaining on 5 to 6 days a week and you drop down to 4 times a week, you will not maintain what you had at 5 to 6 times a week. You will lose a little bit of strength and muscle, and I have, but I'm still keeping most of it, so I'm not far off. And if I start training 5, 6 days a week, hour a day, hitting the compound movements again, for the most part, I'll put my strength on and size on pretty quick. I've dropped a few pounds, but I did drop some weight just from coronavirus. I dropped down about 6 pounds, and I kind of have stayed there, to be honest. I'm about 196, something like that. 197 on a good day. I was around 202, 203 before COVID. So yeah, so that's what else has happened. Just family life has been a little bit tough. The kids have been struggling with school a little bit. We've been, having some issues getting them motivated too, getting them up in the morning, and we're going through a lot of changes there. Working with them, and that's hard when your kids are struggling. As a parent, it's really hard on you. I mean, I can deal with way more coming at me, but when it's affecting my kids, it just starts to get a lot harder. So yeah, so we're trying to do that, and trying to find ways to motivate them has been tough. Life has been hard. We've got this trucker thing in Canada. We're in an emergency war act right now. It's absolute insanity. Our prime minister has lost his mind, and we're turning into a communist state, essentially. Who knows? They can literally do whatever they want at this point, and there's nothing you can do about it. Does that mean they're going to take my money or whatever? Well, if they wanted to, they could. They could come and bulldoze my house if they wanted to. At this point, they literally could. There's nothing legally that you can do to stop them, because we're in a war situation or emergency situation. It's like the War Act. So that's not helping the situation at all, is it? So there's that, and my wife and I have been going to some of these freedom rallies just to try to, I don't care what you believe in terms of vaccination, unvaccination, all that. I don't care. You do what you want to do. You do you. But one thing we should all be fighting for is our freedoms. Our freedom to choose what's best for us here in Canada. I think if you're against that, well, I'm going to say it right now. You're against what I believe in. If you are against freedom, then you should go find a different country to live in. Although this country might be the right one for you if things don't change. But if you want Canada the way it used to be, free, right, then you should believe in that. If not, maybe go find a different country. That's how I feel. Okay, everyone has the right to disagree, but at the end of the day, everyone has the right to their freedoms. So that's been going on. My wife had a arm surgery, and so I've been, she can't really do much because she had a bicep tendon tear. Apparently, I just got off the phone with her. She just went back to her doctor to get a revisit from when he did the operation, and apparently it wasn't like the bicep, it was some sort of smaller tendon or ligament that was 95% torn. So he had to tear the whole thing and sew it up. So she can't do much with that arm, just basically lift the coffee, and that's about it. And so, it's put a little bit of a demand on me, but not, she's a trooper though. She's trying to do what she can and not make me have to do everything. So that's been good. I also had a little bit of a procedure done. I'm still getting through that, the procedure. And if you guys want me to talk about it more, I don't know if you want me to talk about it. I don't like talking about it. But if you do want me to talk about it, let me know in the comments section. But I had my, basically, I guess what you'd say, I could say the real word, but it's easier to just say I had my boys deactivated. I think you know what I'm talking about, right? And so that was last Friday, and it wasn't something I was looking forward to doing. And to be honest, it wasn't too bad getting it done with the freezing and everything, but I got to tell you, and it's not even that painful most of the time. Most of the time, if you're lying down or sitting down or not doing too much, or even standing up, once you're standing up, everything is fine. But when you get up, it kind of feels like someone's taking your nuts and pulling them into your stomach. It's pretty painful. And you definitely don't want your dog to jump up and give you a whack, because that happened and that wasn't fun. But I got to tell you, it's a mess down there. It's like I got run over by a dump truck. In terms of bruising and everything, it's like way worse than I thought I would imagine things would look. So I don't know when I'm going to be back to normal. I'm feeling better every day. It's now Tuesday. Definitely, it's the best day so far. Things are getting slowly better, so I'm hoping maybe in another week we'll be back to business. So if you want me to talk about that some more, other than what I just spoke about, that might be enough for most people. They don't want to hear any more than that, and that's good. I can leave it at that. So yeah, that happened. And I was making these e-bike videos, man. I'm so excited. I was so excited about the e-bike, right? And I'm the kind of guy that I'm just like, I like to modify stuff. And I went into this bike. I think I talked about it with my other videos. I went into it. I bought the lower power motor knowing I was going to upgrade it to a higher power motor. And so I went to do that. I even started videoing some of the process. So I haven't shown you that because I wanted to do this complete kind of before, after, here's the motor before, here's me kind of doing stuff, here's the finished product. And the first hiccup was I got the motor, everything came fine. The first hiccup was when I went to put the motor in, the motor was too big. It was actually a different size. And it's really hard to find information online that tells you this. You don't really know. There's not very many people shaking this other old motor out, putting the new one in. I mean, I probably could have done a little more research and found it out, but it didn't come to me, naturally or easily. So I had to essentially, luckily I got this adapter plate that came with the motor, and it's like a motor mount plate. And so I had to have the old mounting plate completely welded or cut out of the bike, and this new mounting plate welded into the bike so the motor would fit. And that cost me $500. But at that point, I had pulled all the wires out, gotten rid of the motor. Well, not gotten rid of it, but everything was out of the bike. So, and I'd cut cables and things. And so I'm like, okay, I'm committed. And I'd paid for this other motor. So I put the motor in. I thought everything was going great. Tested it sort of like before it was in the bike. Everything was working. And then literally the last screw that I put in, which was this little cover, I guess I didn't run the main wire that goes from the motor to the controller and everything. I didn't run it where I should have. And when I put the last screw in for 3 screws for this last plate, I went kind of through the cable and shorted it. And I didn't know this until I basically took my first pedal stroke and everything shut down. Screen went off, motor was dead, everything was dead. So I figured out that it was probably the controller because I saw this, that I'd shorted the cable. I bought a new controller. I bought a new LCD screen just in case I damaged that. And I bought a new cable, obviously. That all came. I put the new controller in. The motor everything would come up. The screen would come up. The motor would turn on. No errors. But it wouldn't spin. It wouldn't turn. So there's so little information on this stuff. After scouring the internet, I discovered that it was probably a calibration issue. So the information I found was that this new controller needed to be calibrated to the motor. So to do that, you needed to buy something called the Best tool from Bafang, and then run a software program and then calibrate it. And so I got that, I plugged it in, no calibration option came up. I watched all the videos where the calibration little button didn't exist. So I thought maybe it was my username access. Had to ask everybody for a better username password that was a higher level, that had more access. Still didn't have the calibration option. So I finally got a hold of someone at Bafang. This is like, we're into this for a month and a half now, okay? I've spent about over $2,000 trying to fix this motor on top of the cost of the motor, okay? And with the plate and everything. And so I finally got a hold of someone from Bafang, kind of tried a few things, and he's like, I take a picture of the serial number of the motor, and he goes, oh, you have a special motor, whatever that means. He says, you can't do it with the calibration tool through the Best tool. You need to use a special screen that we have. There's only one screen that they sell that has a calibration option in it for the motor that I have. How do you find this out? I even after I knew this and I looked up the name of the controller and controller calibration, nothing comes up. So even if I knew exactly what I was looking for, I still can't find it on the internet. I'm going to be the only guy probably posting a video on how to do this if someone ever has the same problem, because it's not out there. Trust me, I know. So they're going to send me the screen. They're going to send it to me. I have to pay for shipping, and I'll be able to calibrate the motor properly, and hopefully that works. That said, I'm expecting a brand new motor to arrive today because I was done. Like this, I just kind of accidentally found somebody at Bafang that was willing to help me, because I've been contacting them for a long time. Nobody was getting back to me. But just last night, I was WeChatting with the guy from Bafang, and we determined that this was the problem. I need the screen to calibrate my old motor, the broken one. But I just couldn't wait any longer because my bike's been sitting there for a month and a half and I haven't been able to ride it, do anything with it. It just sucks. The weather's getting a little better. It's been drier. So my new motor is supposed to actually arrive today. I'm hoping to put that in today anyways. And then maybe what I'll do is I'll either keep the old one just in case, because it was a whole kit. It comes with the screen, the cables, the pedals. It's got all these extra parts. Some of the parts I might just keep as spares because they do wear out, chain rings wear out, things like that. Cables can get kind of frayed, so I might keep some of that stuff from the kit, but I'll probably sell the motor, and I already have 2 screens, so I might just sell the screen to somebody who's looking for an upgrade for that motor. And I do have actually some extra cables too. I bought extra cables, so I could sell it with the cables and everything. Anyways, that's what's been going on. I've been in a little bit of a funk because not a lot of things have been going my way, as you can understand from the list of stuff I just discussed with everybody. But you know what? You kind of get into the slump. You kind of go through, I wouldn't even call it a depression, but I guess maybe it's a depression. Anytime you go down, it's a depression. It's a low level in your life. And I've had some low levels. I've had some moments of depression, never anything long-term in my life. I've always, if I've gotten a bit down, I get out of it pretty quick. This has been a little bit of a longer period than normal, just being in a funk. And when that happens, generally, it can only get better, right? Things can only get better. I'm hoping things will get better. I'm hoping my bike will be running by the end of the week. I don't know if I'll be able to ride it. See, the timing sucks with the getting the boys deactivated. Sitting on a bicycle seat right now, it's not an option. But if I can at least get it working, and I know it's working so that when I'm ready, the bike's ready, that'll keep me stoked, right? Looking forward to something, and then maybe it's going to be all uphill after that, right? So yeah, okay, that's enough. I'm hopefully going to have, once I get this bike put back together, I'll kind of have like a disjointed video of random clips of me going through highs and lows trying to get this bike together and working. And so that'll be, I'll do that just so that people can kind of follow me along and have some video of what was going on, so you can understand what I'm talking about a little bit better. So that might be my next video if everything goes well. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Check me out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram when I start posting more pictures and stuff in the near future. All right, thanks. Until next time, take care.